Hey there, Pokefans. Welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Matt, and welcome back to our Season 8 Ranked Ladder Climb to get the Master Ball tier using a team we built from scratch. Now, Saturday's video was a little bit of a letdown. We did drop in the ranking quite a bit. We were one match off from being in Master Ball, and because of that, we failed. As many things do, when we get knocked down, we get right back up. So we're gonna try again in this particular video. 5 matches to hopefully hit Master Ball rank, and we'll be using it with a team that we've been seeing all season so far. We're about 60 fights in. We might be 65 at the end of this, so hopefully we are qualified enough to hit the Master Ball tier. So before we get into the matches, I just want to say something really quick. The support that I've been getting from you guys has been all but amazing. I want to continue reaching our goal to 400 subs by the end of the month, and the only way that you guys can do that is by liking the video, commenting, and subscribing. Let's hit our 400 sub at the end of the month goal to hopefully hit our at the end of the year goal of 1,000. Give me a hand. I'll gladly appreciate it all the same. Another announcements. I don't think I have a whole lot besides happy Monday. The beginning of the week is here. It's going to be hot here in the Pacific Northwest, so I think some of these videos will be recorded in advance just because of the fact that I can't record it and have my air conditioner on at the same time. One, it blows out the power in my room and my brother's room, so we have no power if I try to do both at the same time, or I can't get the sound out. I was going to do some testing yesterday and found out that I blew the circuit, so I can't do both. So I'll try to record things ahead of time if it's warranted. Otherwise, it'll just be recorded the day of, and which you'll have to give me some sort of grace period, because sometimes I'll be able to record things and then sometimes I may not be. So just giving you guys a heads up, if a video gets left behind or if we miss a day, it's because of the fact of the weather, and I can't control that, unfortunately. And I can't also use the air conditioner while that's going. I'm also going to be changing around the filters that I have. Listening back, I sound really loud for some reason, and that just could be with my hearing, but I just want to try to make it not as harsh, if that makes any sense. So we're going to try that this video and the batches that we're going to be completing today. So without further ado, let's get into our matches of the day and let's see how we do, shall we? All right, and our match of the day is here. So we've got Fluttermane, Chiampao, Abomasnow, Landorus, Dragonite, and Articuno. Now Articuno has been making quite a comeback in this season. A lot of people use Bright Powder with him and take advantage of the snow variants. And I know that in the, I guess I want to say, what is it? League tournaments that we go to every week. There are some times where Chiampao will live certain effects because of snow. So with that in mind, we do have to try to come out with an out for that, but we do have our dreaded combo that we have to go against, which is the Dragonite Chiampao combo. Again, it's really annoying, but we'll see what we could do with this coming up. So we'll go with Tornadus, Fluttermane to open, and we will then do Chiampao and Urshifu. I think that's going to be the best ones. I would bring in Garchomp, but because they've got Landorus, which is also flying, and it's not his regular form, it's his incarnate form. So Therian is where they're the genie with the cloud still, and their incarnate form is where their form is changed. So because they have Landorus, they're going to be lowering down attacks. So I'm going to try to avoid that as much as possible. He opens up with Dragonite and Chiampao though. So that's going to be very interesting. We're going to go ahead and Terra Ghost. Sucker Punch is going to hit one of us. Bleak Wind. I have a feeling I should change out Fluttermane. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm gonna swap in my Chien-Pao because his is gonna sucker punch possibly into my Flutter Mane, which is gonna knock it out before he even gets to move. And I don't want that. So I'm gonna try to prevent that as much as possible. I'm gonna Terra Ghost my Tornadus, which is the only target he could have targeted for Dragonite. I mean, you could go for Dragon Dance. It could be the wrong variant, but I don't think it is. They're gonna Terra, and it's probably the Dragonite, and it is, and it's normal. It's Steel. Okay. All right. That's a good change up. Let's see what happens. Chien-Pao will protect. That's totally fine. And Bleak Wind is gonna hit, but it doesn't hit the Chien-Pao. It will hit Dragonite though. It's gonna pop its multi-scale. And lower its speed one stage. And it's gonna be Terra Blast. Ah. So it was the one-hit killer to for Flutter Mane. But now I'm gonna hang on due to Focus Sash, so that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and Bleak Wind. And now that Chien-Pao could potentially Sucker Punch me still. I'm gonna Protect instead. It's probably like the better option. Sucker Punch was going to go into that slot. Thankfully, it failed. Bleak Wind will now hit. Doesn't knock out the Chien-Pao, but it does get him down to 2/3. But we have Terra Blast coming out again into Tornadus, which is going to KO. Okay, now we'll bring out Urshifu. We'll close combat the Dragonite, and we will Sucker Punch the Chien-Pao. Hopefully it'll be enough to knock it out. If it's not, it's gonna suck, but we'll give it our best shot. They withdrew the Dragonite, which is totally fine. Gonna send out Flutter Mane, which is going to negate the close combat. Sucker Punch will fail because Sucker Punch, you know, obviously wouldn't have hit. That just tells me that mine's faster. Now, I didn't get Tailwind off, right? No, I did not. Okay, so I have to be really, really careful here. We're gonna Protect with Urshifu. And I'm gonna Sucker Punch Chien-Pao. I should Sucker Punch. Nope, I should have done it to Flutter Mane. Chien-Pao's gonna leave, and we're gonna see Landorus, which is gonna drop our attack one stage. Protect on the Urshifu. Yeah, I should have attacked with the Sucker Punch the Flutter Mane. Dazzling Gleam, which is going to ignore Urshifu. It's going to knock out Chien-Pao. So now we have 2 versus 4. But 2 are severely weak, and then now we've got 2 more that are fresh. We're going to Surging Strikes into Landorus, and then we're going to Shadow Ball into Flutter Mane. I would go into Dazzling Gleam, but you could swap Flutter Mane out to bring out Dragonite, or sacrifice Flutter Mane to do something else. I would rather just set it up with the U-turn will hit Urshifu, which isn't going to do a whole lot, but it is going to return him into that slot. So now you guys bring out another Pokemon, but Surging Strikes is going to do a lot of damage to that Pokemon that comes out. So it's most likely the Dragonite, because Chien-Pao wouldn't make sense. Unless he wanted the free switch in, and he does, so Chien-Pao will come out. Totally fine. My Fluttermane will attack with Shadow Ball, which will one-shot that Fluttermane, which gives them another free switch in. But Surging Strikes will now knock out that Pokemon. So we now tied up the score, and we took very little damage doing so. So now they only have Dragonite and Landorus left. Now the thing to consider is that if that Dragonite is choice banded, it's only going to be able to attack Urshifu, because Fluttermane's going to ignore that attack whatsoever. We are -2 in Urshifu stats now. I don't think we're going to be able to really knock out anyone specifically, but Landorus does outspeed Urshifu, because I wasn't smart enough to cast a Tailwind before, but I really wanted to pop Sash, so that was my whole justification for it. I think we outspeed Dragonite, so we can give it a try and go Surging Strikes on the Landorus, and I have to Shadow Ball into Dragonite. Rock Slide won't do much. Let's see if it flinches. Fluttermane flinch, couldn't move. Surging Strikes on Urshifu, and it's gonna knock him out. Even with the -2, I was still worried about it, but thankfully we still got the KO. Now the flinch is really unfortunate. I was really hoping that it didn't do that, but we'll see what happens. He elects to go back at the Terra Blast, so I don't know if it's Terra Steel, but... Or, not Terra Steel. Obviously it's Terra Steel. I don't know if it's banded or not. I don't particularly know yet. But I am faster than it, so let's give it a try. -2, we'll do a close combat. Knockout. So it faints. We barely pulled this one off, guys. If that Dragonite was faster than Urshifu, I would have lost there. We now have our next match. We've got Hawlucha, Indeedee, Armarouge, Palafin, Sandy Shocks, and Chien Pao. All right. So last time that we saw Indeedee Armarouge, we didn't do too well. Let's change that up though, and do really, really well. So, we will probably bring in Urshifu and Chien Pao to start, because I don't want to get set up with the Trick Room, because if they could set it up and it's a bad day bears for me. We'll bring in Garchomp, and then we'll bring in Fluttermane. We're going to bring it in as heavily invested Pokemon as possible. One, to lower down their stats, and we also want to make it so that we can be as effective as possible. 4 of my 6 Pokemon have Protect, and I think I brought them all. No, I brought 3 of them into this round. So I should be able to withstand Trick Room if in fact that does happen. Urshifu, Chien Pao will come out first. Psychic Surge will open up the field. Okay, so we have no Psychic Seed. We have no indication of what's going to be what. Now, Armarouge could Terra into Grass, so I'm going to assume that is the case, and I'm going to go straight into Indeedee, and then I'm going to Ice Spinner into the Armarouge. Is that the better choice, though? I mean, Sucker Punch does do the thing, but it's probably not going to be able to do the thing because of the fact of Trick Room plus Psychic Surge. Psychic Surge is what we need to take care of first, so we're going to assume that Armarouge is going to change, and he does not, so he's going to just be pure water, or pure fire. Ice Spinner is going to go right into the Indeedee, which isn't going to knock it out, but Psychic Surge now is going to, or not Psychic Surge, but Surging Strikes is now going to go into Indeedee slot, which is going to knock it out. Now we get access to priority. He is still going to do a Trick Room, though. There was no way to prevent that from this end, but we're going to do our best from here on out. So Indeedee now is gone. Oh, he used Expanding Force. All right. It's still going to knock out the Urshifu, but I was really thinking that they would do Trick Room. But all right. I guess it wasn't a bad idea that they didn't do that. We'll go into Fluttermane. We have Garchomp in the back as well. We could swap out, but we're gonna go this way. Okay, Hawlucha. Shiny. I like the Hawlucha. Okay, so we're gonna Shadow Ball into Armarouge, and then we're gonna Ice Spinner into Hawlucha. Now, Hawlucha has a couple abilities that we need to be aware of. One is called Unburden, and if he uses an item, he will then double his speed. So I don't think that's going to be the thing here. But Armarouge is going to protect to avoid the Shadow Ball. Hawlucha is not going to do anything, so it's going to get one hit KO from the Ice Spinner from Chien-Pao. What is your next plan? Sandy Shocks comes out. That's also a shiny. And has booster energy. So its speed was heightened. Spinner. I mean, that would work at Sandy Shocks, but I think what would be the guess here? I'm gonna do it. Terra, Flying, Ice Spinner into Sandy Shocks. I think Sandy Shocks might do Earthquake and then maybe protect Armarouge again. I highly doubt it since he protected last turn, but he gets the speed boost. I don't think this is gonna be the best play, but I mean, anything really, because Sandy Shocks is going to do a lot of damage. It's, I think, Electric Ground. But let's see. They're going to Terra. I Terra Flying with Chien-Pao. It's going to be Armarouge. It's going to be Grass. So it is going to be the Earthquake. Because Grass isn't going to receive, like, a whole lot of damage from Thunderbolt to the Chien-Pao. Drops it down to Sash. I thought it was going to be Earthquake, but I guess he just want to do Defensive Terra. Fluttermane will now do Shadow Ball into the Armarouge, which is not going to knock him out, but it gets pretty close. Ice Spinner into Sandy Shocks, which is going to knock it out. Armor Cannon now goes into Chien-Pao, which will knock it out, unfortunately. And it drops his stats one stage. Okay, it lost a little bit of HP. I'm surprised he didn't knock himself out because he's life orbed. So that's really, really interesting. So Garchomp will now come in and we'll finish this out for our team. Fluttermane will now attack into him, and I'm gonna Dragon Claw. Battle is canceled. So there's our second win of the video, so that's cool. We did it, guys. Boom. All right, now our third match of the day is ready to go. We've got Fluttermane, Lilligant, Entity, Armarouge, Torkoal, and Hisuian Goodra. So kind of like the opener that we had before, but now we have to deal with a Sun team on top of that. So I think we did fairly well with our current assortment from last game. So we opened up with like Urshifu and like Chien-Pao to take care of like the Entity Armarouge. But I am worried about Lilligant and Torkoal. But they could also do Trick Room, which then Goodra and Torkoal will like take advantage of that. They're not going to do it for Lilligant's sake. And Fluttermane's incredibly fast. I think we do the opener that we did last time. So Urshifu, Chien-Pao to kind of give us a little bit of an edge to get rid of one priority negating stuff like Psychic Surge and hopefully give us a better edge on attacking Armarouge or even Entity, whoever sets up Trick Room. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Garchomp and who else? Fluttermane. We'll do the same open as last time. I wanted to bring in like Tornadus, but I didn't get to really figure out the proper calculations for that. But if they do bring in Fluttermane, I do have a way to get rid of it, so on and so forth. So like we can kind of see the clear path, right? And that's what we want. We want to see that clear path. They'll open up with Indeedee Armarouge, both shiny, so congratulations. Sword of Ruin, Psychic Surge, and no seed again. Okay. So we're going to Surging Strikes on the Armarouge, and then we're going to go ahead and Ice Spinner on the Indeedee. Follow me on the Indeedee, which is totally fine. We'll probably see the Trick Room from Armarouge, but Ice Spinner into the Indeedee, which is going to knock it down to half. Chien-Pao was hurt by Rocky Helmet, but I made sure that the Psychic Surge was gone. Urshifu is continuing to be hurt by the Rocky Helmet because he gets hit twice. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Okay. So Indeedee is now down. Armarouge, what are you going to do? Trick Room. There we go. So we already foresaw that happening for sure. Which is why we'd set up to where we had one attacker that couldn't really take advantage of it, and then another person that would absolutely take advantage of that. Okay, so we're gonna Aqua Jet into... I mean, we could Aqua Jet into Torkoal. He's gonna probably do Eruption. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we will Sucker Punch. I mean, we could also hit Armarouge, but right now Torkoal is going to be like the main person to hit. So we're going to hit Torkoal. Bolt right into that slot. Aqua Jet. Doesn't do a whole lot because Sun's in the way, but here comes Sucker Punch, knocks it down to 2/3. Eruption, which isn't going to do a whole lot anymore. Still knocks out the Chien-Pao though. Still will knock out the Chien-Pao. And Heat Wave coming out from Armarouge. It's a good thing I didn't Terra. I was really thinking about it, but I'm glad I didn't. Because that would have been bad. I mean, to be fair, this entire thing is kind of bad right now. So Fluttermane's probably going to need to take my Terra, because otherwise it's not going to do really, really well. Especially now, since its speed is heightened. I'm going to Protect with Garchomp to try to wear out the turns for Trick Room. It's only got 3 more turns left. What do I do here? What do I do here? I think the option I have is to Shadow Ball into Torkoal. They're gonna Terra. Armarouge. Grass to get rid of his weakness, and I don't have fire on my side of the field, so that makes sense. Protect with Garchomp. Eruption from Torkoal does nothing to Garchomp because he protected. Does a little bit half on the Fluttermane. Heat Wave does nothing again. Garchomp. It's probably not going to miss because of the heat. We'll knock out Fluttermane. Yep. Dang it. Oh. Even when I see the ending, it's really, really hard to get to. Alright, it's Earthquake. I mean, we can't Protect. They've got 2 more turns of Trick Room left. Fire Blast. That's a lot of damage, even though it's not very effective. Yeah, and they obviously move first. That's kind of why I don't like speccing into speed, but I have to because otherwise outside of this, they would fall. My team, not theirs, obviously. All right, our next match is ready to go. We've got Annihilate, Mousehold, Tyranitar, Golden Go, Garchomp, and Rotom Wash. All right, I see you. So how do we deal with this assortment of Pokemon? I think the best option that we have is to kind of do like a faster team build here. So we're gonna go Tornadus, Fluttermane, Garchomp, and Chien-Pao. Regieleki's not gonna do very much here because they've got Tyranitar, Garchomp, and Rotom is about evened out with it, so it's not gonna do a whole lot of damage. I'm more worried about the Mousehold Annihilate more than anything because I can taunt Mousehold. Most likely gonna have Mental Herb, but Friend Guard is still going to be a thing, so we're gonna try to avoid that as much as possible. And if I could put immediate pressure by like maybe Terra, Fairy, Fluttermane, and like Dazzle Gleam, like that might do a lot for me specifically. So we're hoping out of the possible openings we could see T-Tar. I doubt it, but we could see T-Tar. I didn't see Lycanroc, so yeah, it's gonna be T-Tar Mousehold. Interesting. Sandstream will now kick up. We will Rain Dance to get rid of the sand. Terra, Fairy, Dazzle Gleam, because they'll probably transform T-Tar to flying. That would be my guess. I'm more worried about what Mousehold's gonna do because Pop Bomb is still strong, and since I'm changing Fluttermane to Fairy, it's gonna do a lot of damage. But I don't think that's what this one is. I don't think it's Technician. I think it's Friend Guard. They're also going to Terra, and it's going to go to T-Tar. And he goes flying. All right. That's cool. Mousehold will protect, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and use Rain Dance to get rid of this weather. And now I have 100% Bleak Winds. Dazzling Gleam will not do anything to the Mousehold because it protected. And here comes Dazzling Gleam to T-Tar, which isn't going to do a whole lot because, you know, there's that. Rock Slide, which is going to hurt Tornadus, but he still lives. And Fluttermane also will also live. We're going to Tailwind. Yes, we're going to Tailwind with Tornadus so that we get the advantage with speed. Actually, I don't think we need it to Tailwind. No, we don't need the Tailwind advantage. We're good. Now I'm going to do a little bit more damage by doing Bleak Winds. Mousehold will say follow me. That's cool. Dazzling Gleam. So it's not going to do a whole lot to either Pokemon, but this will. We'll knock out the Mousehold. Drop the speed to T-Tar. And now T-Tar is a little less than a third, which is going to knock out both of my Pokemon. In the trade of things, 1 for 2 isn't that great on my side, but I believe we did bring in Chien-Pao in the back. And I didn't see a way to rescue those two Pokemon. So, yeah, it sucks, but we did our job. Chien-Pao and Garchomp will now come out. So who is your third Pokemon? Garchomp. Gotcha. So I'm going to Dragon Claw the Garchomp over there. And I'm going to Ice Spinner the T-Tar. Because we already used our Terras. There is no secondary effects that we have to worry about. T-Tar will now go down from Ice Spinner. So there they go. No more Terras for you. And I believe I'm faster. Yep, Dragon Claw into that other Garchomp, which is going to knock it out. And here comes Rough Skin. Does about 1/10 the damage. So now we went from 1 to 2 to 2 to 2, or 0 to 2. So we're now 2 versus 1, and it's Annihilate left. Okay, we're going to Dragon Claw the Annihilate, and then we're just going to go ahead and Sucker Punch the Annihilate. It could protect. Actually, if it does protect, we're just going to go ahead and Ice Spinner. I don't want to risk it. Ice Spinner takes it to half. Dragon Claw will finish it up. And we won our third match, I think it is. All right, our next match is ready to go. We've got Urshifu, Iron Hands, Iron Bundle, Tornadus, Abomasnow, and Hatterene. Okay, a good assortment of Pokemon here that we kind of have to worry about right off the bat. So let's go ahead and bring in Tornadus. I want to say Regieleki. Yeah, we'll bring in Regieleki. In the event that we do have to deal with Hatterene, let's bring in Fluttermane. It'll also make sense to do that for Urshifu as well as Iron Hands. We can also do that to do like the switch in for Fake Out, so we can just completely ignore all that bullness. And who else do we bring? We could bring in our own Urshifu. That could do a lot of damage. I don't think that's gonna be like the best one though. Who takes out Abomasnow? I don't really have anyone that does that. Let's bring in Qianpao. He's got Sash and can handle 2 attacks, so let's bring him in. See what happens. Hatterene is gonna have Magic Bounce most likely, so taunting will not work here. The best option that I have to really compete with this team is to set off Tailwind, but if they go for Trick Room, I'm kind of done for, but it will be Iron Hands and Hatterene. Great. Okay, so what do we do? I mean, we can't, can we? Swap out to do Fluttermane, and we will protect Regieleki. Fake Out's most likely going to come from Iron Hands, and Trick Room's most likely going to come out from Hatterene. So Fake Out is probably going to go to either... It is Fake Out, and it will not affect Regieleki. And Trick Room. Okay. So this is the dimensions. So now I'm in trouble. I don't have anyone that's going to be able to do this now. Crap. Swatch out to Tornadus. Thunderbolt into the Hatterene. That's all I really got. Trick Room is definitely one of my bigger weaknesses, and I can try to outstand or like withstand it, but Dazzling Gleam will come out. Wild Charge will now come in. This knocks out Tornadus. Thunderbolt. Almost knocks out Hatterene. Gets pretty close. Will heal up due to its Citrus Berry. But now we'll bring in Qianpao. And we will go ahead and use Sucker Punch on the Hatterene. And we will protect again on the Regieleki. Like, I'm really tempted of changing around Fluttermane just so that I can reset Trick Room, if in fact it's being used. Sucker Punch will now hit Hatterene, will not knock it out. Dazzling Gleam does nothing against the Regieleki, but it will hit the Chien-Pao for quite a bit. Bring him down to a Sash. And come on, Iron Hands, hit me. Drain Punch, nope. It'll only do 1 HP though. Honestly, it shouldn't even be able to heal for 1 HP, but it does. It still gives you 1. It does half the damage. So what's half of 1? Still 1. It's like 0.5. Okay, Trick Room. Last 2 more. Yeah, we're... Oof. Go for it. Let's try. I can't really do a whole lot. We're gonna Terra. Oh, Trick Room, man. Trick Room. Yeah, I think that's gonna be like the thing that I do with Fluttermane now. I'm gonna probably take it out of specs. Go back to like to the Wise Glasses. I do like the spec option, but it's not... I need to be able to reverse Trick Room, and so that's the only thing I need to do is try to reverse it. I can also use Imprison. Imprison might be really helpful. Extremely helpful, actually. We'll look into that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be the end of our video for today. We are 65 fights in, and we are 28 and 37. Still puts us above the 40% bracket, of which we may not... I mean, I'm happy for it. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like seeing the number being so low, if that makes any sense. I put a lot of effort into my team and trying to make the team really go, and sometimes it does extremely well, and then sometimes it just does extremely poorly. So that it is what it is at that point, but we'll do our best in the next one that we record. It's supposed to be 96 tomorrow in the Pacific Northwest, so because it's going to be so hot, I think what I'm going to do is record a couple of videos today, because today is Monday, so that all I have to do is just get up and edit and then release it to you guys so that you'll be able to see it, because I won't be able to record in a very hot room with no AC on. So I'm going to try to get as much as I possibly can done for this week. But what do you guys think of today's video? We did really well on certain fights and then kind of poorly in other fights. We went 3 and 2 today specifically. So I'm very happy of how most of it turned out, but there's just some things that I just wish were done a little bit better. But that's going to be it for today's video. Like it if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, subscribe, and you can turn on the notifications if you want. I'm hearing from the Duke from the podcast that they do help out really like a lot, so do that, especially if you keep coming back to watch more. I do release Pokemon videos 6 days a week. I will be taking Sundays off unless it's really hot, in which then, like I said before, I'll record a bunch for you, release it so that I don't have to be in my really hot room and not being able to do anything. So there's that. But we do have a goal at the end of the month to try to hit 400 subscribers, and we're at 350. So if you guys feel like being generous, I would gladly appreciate you hitting the subscribe button, liking the video, and commenting, because that all helps out the channel, and I do appreciate any and everything you're willing to do. And that, my friends, is all that I've got. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow on Tuesday. Till then, have a great day. Peace.